this great guy here.
He's a very handsome guy.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can't tell the radio, but
You got a face for the radio.
I appreciate it. Oh, there you go. That makes sense.
Who's your guest?
All right, our guest here is Matt Anderson. He is the owner of Video Depot, and we couldn't be more excited because video is so present in our everyday lives now. So a lot of people haven't really fully understood the benefits of it, so we really want to give you some insight on why you should be using it, how you can be using it, and why Matt just loves New Hampshire and why he's staying here to really make his business thrive in this area.
Sure, yeah. Honestly, I think it's kind of ironic that I do video and I'm talking about it on the radio. But,
That's okay, because you're going to be on the video.
There you go.
By Wednesday, you'll be on the video.
No, I love
Welcome, Matt.
Yeah, no, thanks. It's good to be here. It's cool. I found a quote on my Facebook.
Oh,
I cheated a little
bit.
But I love this quote. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was ending, he turned into a butterfly. That is a proverb, but it's such a good quote, especially when you start your own business, because it's like, you know, one day you just, everything's like, tough, and then the next day it's like, oh, what happened? It's awesome today.
Yeah, 8 years later.
Yeah, right.
10 years later.
Seriously,
Gee, that was easy.
Yeah, right. You just
That
forget
was an
all about
awesome
it.
quote. I like that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
I love
that.
butterflies.
I think I'll look at
Butterflies are nice.
butterflies a little bit differently now. Think about all those business owners
They're always a
out
caterpillar.
Right, there you go.
Welcome, Matt.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do video production, basically. I own a business called Video Depot. So we do filming, video editing, animation, and we even do aerial stuff, which I always tell people about. So yeah, we use helicopter drones, like stuff the military would use, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us about some businesses that have used it or would use it?
Yeah, so it kind of depends. We use the aerial stuff a lot of times for real estate. It's mostly kind of advertisement stuff, commercial stuff, but really just in general, any business that wants to advertise kind of in a creative way, you know, you can do anything with video. It's very interactive, so yeah.
I don't want to interrupt the video thing, but you know what? I'm listening. You know, you don't have the headphones on. I'm hearing things a little differently.
Sure.
This guy's got a voice for radio.
I think so too.
No,
let
seriously.
me put these on. Let me
Oh,
hear this
geez.
You
out.
got to listen to this.
Wait,
because
he can't mess up his ear. He can't listen to himself.
Yeah, it's gonna mess me up.
Doesn't he sound like a DJ?
Yes.
What's going on?
Oh
feel like
yeah,
that's
spin
yeah.
those records. Oh yeah, he'll replace what's her name, Delia, the night bird or whatever.
Delilah.
There you go.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. You do.
now
You
I'm
sound
all
really.
pissed.
Doesn't he sound good in the ear?
He really does.
Yeah, oh, jeez. If you can only see through radio how red I am. Right
Well, we
now.
could.
Right. Okay.
He's definitely got the voice. So
Well, now that he's demanded it, I'm going to flip the camera around.
Yeah,
and show
right?
him.
No.
they don't want to see the concrete.
Okay.
They want to see this young, good-looking face.
Matt's mom, he is on live.
Oh,
you can
geez.
turn the video.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Not only can you listen live, you can watch Matt in action.
Yep.
Go bright red. He's
Just texted her a
purple.
link right before I got on here. Now that realizing that was a mistake, but what are you gonna do? So.
Absolutely not. Oh,
No.
are you really setting up the cam, Tim?
Yeah, he's on live now.
Holy
I'm all about
moly.
video. That's fine. I love
There
video.
you go. That's right. It's all
Yeah.
about video.
Yeah.
Tell us all about video.
Oh, geez. I mean, that's a big question. But, you know, I don't know. I there's a lot of, you know, you could read books on how to advertise video or, you know, what's effective. But I think personally kind of what sets Video Depot apart and kind of just like the way I look at it is a lot of it's just like common sense. You know, you watch commercials on TV. Some of them are boring. Some of them are super entertaining. And what I just like to always do, I'll be watching TV and I just like to figure out, like, why did I like that? You know, I'm a big fan of funny stuff. You know, funny commercials. Those are the most effective. in my
Subliminal.
opinion. Yeah.
Subliminally funny.
Yeah, sure. I mean, some of them are outright funny. You know, you know, that's a big question, though. I don't know.
What would you let me maybe phrase it differently, Matt? What would you recommend for a small business
Sure.
who wants to get their message out quicker?
Yeah.
Do you think video is the way to do it?
Yes. So basically, you know, with video, basically whenever I talk to, you know, a client or anyone who's even interested in it, the biggest things I try to figure out are what are your goals and what are the challenges that you have that are keeping you from reaching those goals. And a majority of the time, it's video can help you to overcome those challenges and get you to your goal. I like to look at it as an investment. So, it's not an expense. You pay for this video and you'll get 10 times that back. So I would absolutely recommend people to at least look into it, contact somebody, hopefully me, to do a video.
Oh, what is your business?
Video production. Video Depot. There we go. Yeah. But I mean, specifically, it really depends on the business with ideas and stuff. We can always think of really creative stuff, and that's what I always encourage. So it's really a case-by-case kind of thing,
What about, I'm curious with video marketing, because we do the podcast, and I use stills, the old-fashioned photography stills, and I will put it to, make it a video.
Uh-huh.
What would you say for marketing purposes is a good length of a video? Because you lose somebody after, 5 minutes?
Yep. It depends. So, I mean, if you're talking about a traditional kind of advertisement, something to see on TV or in between on a YouTube video, maybe, anywhere from 15 seconds to a minute maximum.
Really?
Yeah, but usually it's somewhere in the 15 to 30 second mark. But also kind of what we specialize in is just beyond, a TV ad or a YouTube ad. It's just stuff that you can put maybe on your website that kind of gets consumers to know you, your personality, beyond just the services you offer. So those could be longer. They could be, maybe 2 to 3 minutes long, just talking about yourself and your business.
That's actually a big thing for Grapevine Marketing, is that we're working with clients to get videos on their website. So we've been working with Matt, and people like to watch video, and it's a little less confusing to read the text, and they're lazy. So they're going there to find information, but they could be watching this video as they're surfing the website, but you're able to put a really strong message together. So I'm sure you're starting to notice that as you go on websites, you're seeing more video there.
I do. It's like the landing page is the video.
Yeah. Talk about putting your money where your mouth is. I mean, I tell people about this, right? I have a website. We do have a few videos on there, but recently there's this new kind of package we've been offering for realtors and brokers and things like that. Anyway, I'm making a web page for it, and I'm realizing that I think we're going to shoot a commercial actually probably within the upcoming weeks for it, because it's just so hard to type this stuff out and expect people to read it. So video is really just a great way when you have something you want to get across, just to keep them engaged, keep them entertained, and really sell them on something, it's kind of funny that
it grabs you.
Yeah,
it really,
it does.
It started out with websites, as you probably know, Marlena. Back in the day, you got stock photography, which was awful, Then they moved to hiring a photographer to do their employees and what the mission is of their company. Now, video is just everything. Video marketing is everything.
That's what it's all about.
What does it cost? I mean, because that's a big factor.
It is. So the cost actually is what has kind of made me think about those packages I was referring to for specific kind of salespeople and brokers. But if you're talking about a commercial advertisement, usually I would say, just to be safe, have at least $1,000 or up for a budget. An average would be somewhere from 12 to 15 if you want something like a 30 second to 1 minute long advertisement. And that, there's a lot of factors that play into that. I never like to quote someone a price before I know specifically what they want. But there are things like for realtors, for mortgage brokers, independent salespeople, anyone who really wants to represent themselves credibly. I basically have a package that's $195.
Hang on to that. Hold on to that thought, because Tim is giving me the heave-ho. I'm sitting in the grapevine. I'm sitting on the grapevine, Glynis. I am your host with Marlena, and we are speaking with Matt Anderson about videos. We'll be right back. This is Glynis. We are on WSMNradio.com, and you can listen to us live stream us. We are talking to Matt Anderson.
Yep.
Video Depot. And we were talking about, Marlena, during the break, we were talking about pricing of videos because I think a lot of people think that it's very out of my marketing budget. But, right, Marlena? Matt was saying, no, that's not the case.
And you can't really think of it as a cost, but rather an investment. So, Matt, take over here.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't like to give super detailed quotes to anybody because it really just it depends. But specifically, something I was saying before the break is we have this new package that we're offering where for $195, we can offer you 3 30-second interview spots where you can just talk to your consumers. So it's great for realtors, mortgage brokers, people who do a lot of selling, need to be credible. And it just kind of lets consumers see your personality, and just kind of understand you beyond the services that you provide, which is something that's important.
And can you give a price of that package?
Yeah, and it's $195. That's a set thing.
Wow.
There's additional things you can add on to it, but that's a flat rate, $195.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for new realtors just starting out or new salespeople just starting out, that's good. Great budget.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
And like Matt said, it's just very versatile. You can use it on your social media.
We're back. This is Glynis. We are on WSMNradio.com, and you can listen to us live stream us. We are talking to Matt Anderson,
Yep.
Video Depot, and we were talking about, Marlena, during the break, we were talking about the pricing of videos because I think a lot of people think that it's very out of my marketing budget. But, right, Marlena? Matt was saying, no, that's not the case.
And you can't really think of it as a cost, but rather an investment. So, Matt, take over here.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't like to give super detailed quotes to anybody because it really just it depends. But specifically, something I was saying before the break is we have this new package that we're offering where for $195, we can offer you 3 30-second interview spots where you can just talk to your consumers. So it's great for realtors, mortgage brokers, people who do a lot of selling, need to be credible. And it just kind of lets consumers see your personality, and just kind of understand you beyond the services that you provide, which is something that's important.
And can you give a price of that package?
Yeah, and it's $195. That's a set thing.
Wow.
There's additional things you can add on to it, but that's a flat rate, $195.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for new realtors just starting out or new salespeople just starting out, that's good. Great budget.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't.
And like Matt said, it's just very versatile. You can use it on your social media. You can use it on your website. You can embed it into blogs. You could send it out through email. And it really just gets populated everywhere. And those links are really strong. That drives back to your website. So there's a lot of benefits to using these videos. And what I love about video for our clients is that you can change up the bookends. You can edit it. So you can really spend a day with Matt and have videos for multiple years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really
to keep
make
it fresh, you don't.
So yeah, if you have like a very timeless outfit and content that really works for your business and you go in prepared, and that's, why you work with Matt and Grapevine, is that you really have your messaging down, and then you can just keep repurposing that. So you never have to think, I have to update my video every year. It's just more going back to the table and working with Matt on how to edit it and, what's your purpose, what's your objective for each video that you put out. So it's always going to range in how long it might be.
Mm-hmm.
I do headshots.
Yep.
So I can either do headshots. I'll go to a business, a corporation. A lot of people will say, no, I want to have it done on location because that's us. I want that for my website. what do you guys do? Do you have a studio or?
So we try to keep it low overhead. So we do it on a case-by-case basis. We basically have studios that we work with, and we can rent out facilities when they're needed. But, if there's a real estate agency and they have a lot of realtors working there who all want this package, we can go to their location, so it's more convenient. I noticed you mentioned headshots. It's a lot like that. So, it's like a headshot, but it's a video headshot. It's a profile video. So it just,
it's live.
Exactly.
And that makes a very big, I'll use the photography today. I'll take your photos and you'll see it on the YouTube, but it's still missing something, because this is a podcast. People are more interested in what's being said.
Sure.
On a website, people want. I love videos on a website, especially of the owner, or like you said, the realtors, getting a group of realtors together.
And one thing with video and photography and how they can really work together with an agency is, first of all, identifying your personas and who your ideal clients are, and then finding family and friends and potential models to really dress that part. So if your ideal client is, say, in the 80s, you're really targeting like 80s moms, then you can get them to get dressed up like them.
Excuse me.
This is just an example. And you could take those photos and you can use them on your website, and those same models can be in the video. And then you have this incredible brand that's so strong, and they're people that, you really made sure that they have your messaging down rather than just using stock photo that other websites can have. So I think that's just an incredible way for photographers and videographers and marketing agencies to kind of collaborate all together. So you have these same models that you can go back to even 5 years from now if you really feel like, okay, well, now that demographic is getting 5 years older, but this is still our target audience. So let's take more photos, let's do more videos. But I think that's something that people aren't really capturing just yet. I've seen a few people do it. Like ChartSpan is a new app that does that. And I think it's just brilliant. But there's a lot of people that haven't picked that up yet.
Yeah.
Stock photos really do bother me. So
oh my God. I'm like, why do you want, I can go to your business for the same and offer you more in taking the photos right there than it costs you to buy them on stock,
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, LinkedIn, they're now offering free stock photos.
Free images. I've seen that.
Free images. Who wants that? Oof, right?
You got to set your business apart. People aren't stupid. They catch on to that kind of stuff.
And they look fake.
Yeah, they do. They do.
They don't look fake. But video, I'm very interested in video. I wish I knew how to do video. Video editing is very difficult.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's definitely time consuming. But it's when you get the right people on the job, we make it pretty fluid. And one thing that I think might be a deterrent for a lot of people is they don't know how the process works and how long it takes. How much time it's going to take from them. But I always like to say that's really what we specialize in. So quick turnaround times. Managing your time effectively, where you're not spending a whole week trying to coordinate this with us. We're full service, so we'll do the job for you.
And what's the turnaround time for, say, they come into the studio or go to on location with you? What's the turnaround time?
It could be. It depends on the complexity, but majority of the time it's no more than 2 weeks. It could usually be even just a week to get it fully, from start, from where we film it to where it's edited and ready to go.
Wow.
Yeah. So. Not a whole lot of people offer that. So.
No, they do, because you have to. Myself, photo editing is a chore in itself, and you try it. The client wants it. I need it today. Well, we just had the photo shoot. I can't possibly get it to you today. It's the same thing and video is even more complex than photo editing.
Yeah, in a sense, it's less detailed because an individual photo has a lot more detail in it. So it's mostly just about getting the right filters and color. There's a whole bunch of technical stuff people could hear. But at the end of the day, all that really matters is that the end product is quality and it does the job that they need it to. And that's about as involved as people want to be in it. And I understand that. So, again, I just try to make it easy for them, and we handle the hard stuff.
I'm going to ask Marlene a question. Being with a marketing company, we all know to have a website built it is, it can be very costly, right? If you're going to spend if a company is going to spend that kind of money, then they should do it right from the beginning and have video on their website, don't you think?
Well, video is definitely something you can add in as you go. I mean, you're really looking for responsive web designs right now, so that means it can change on your tablet to your laptop to your iPhone or Android. So that's really where you want to be. So once your website is responsive, and not mobile versus just desktop, that's where you really want to be. And potentially on like a WordPress platform, those are really popular right now because they're very intuitive and you can make updates on your own. So if you were to hire someone like Matt, you could upload the videos on your own without having a complex like coding HTML website. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of where you want to be, because a lot of companies don't want to take on, just 5 minutes worth of editing every month or so. So, I mean, people are 64% more likely to buy a product after watching a video. That's, a really powerful quote. There's a lot of things that we really tell our clients with video, and although we don't do video in-house, we hire someone like Matt to do it, and so we think it's really powerful. And a lot of our clients are reaching out to higher level executives. So according to Forbes, 59% of executives would actually rather watch video than read text. So going back to earlier in the show, everyone's busy and no one really has time to shift through hundreds of pages on the website. They're Googling and they want an answer to their question. They're getting that, but when they could just hit play and listen to it within 30 seconds or less, I think it's really important to have shorter videos. You can have multiple videos and every video can have a question at the top, and then it's just a quick answer. So I think what Matt's doing with these, with his new package is right on, because those 30-second clips are really going to capture people's information. They're going to give the personality. They're going to give the culture of the company. You feel invested when you watch a video. Yeah,
I mean, I think it's the same reason that, some people like to read books, but a majority of people, they'd rather watch a movie than read the book. Same reason why someone's not necessarily going to want to, read your website. They want to watch a video that talks about your website and your business. So, yeah, you're right on there.
A lot of times with even just optimizing videos for YouTube for our clients, we'll say, if you want more information, click here to read the blog for more information. So every video that we upload, typically there's a blog post or some sort of information, internal pages on their website that gives additional information. So I think that's what's really great, is that you kind of have both options. Maybe they only watch the first 10 seconds of the video, but that now they can put a face to the company's name, and now they can read more and print out pages for whoever it is within their company that they need to give it more information to.
Sure.
I know when I do my videos with the stills, I use Vimeo. Vimeo is now, I think, the better way than YouTube.
Better quality.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't
Now, let me play devil's advocate, because there is higher quality, but it doesn't have as strong of the rankings as YouTube. So when it comes to search engine optimization and organic search, YouTube is just the way to go. And I know the biggest issue that we have is that people are like, but when at the end of your video, it pops up and it says, we suggest these videos, which is probably not another one of your videos unless you're over the 10,000 mark, where if you're working with Matt for the first time, I'm sure your views aren't going to get 10,000 in the first week unless you're working on something more viral, if it's informational. So what we are suggesting and what we're working with our clients on are these amazing new things that YouTube launched, is where you can actually put annotations throughout the video where it says, click here to learn more about this. So as people are watching, we don't really tend to watch more than 2 minutes. So it's bouncing them back from video to video and even bringing them to a downloadable checklist, to a blog, bringing them back to the website. So there's really great ways to now edit and still keep this beautiful edited video that's maybe 3-4 minutes long, but before they get to that 4-minute mark, they're already moving on to what their next question is. So having those things pop up on the video has been really powerful, and I think that's what's kind of beating out Vimeo right now, even though that is like a beautiful quality and it's great for more artists and creative. And
you're right. So if you're going to do advertisement stuff, you got to go with YouTube, because it does search engine optimization. That's a big word. that definitely is important. I think Vimeo is good if you just want to embed stuff on a website and you're looking for the quality. But if you're going to do advertising, YouTube all the way.
That's what I've had. So you advise your clients that you're working with to definitely upload to YouTube.
Primarily, yeah, that's what we do. YouTube. It's just more versatile. You can do a lot more with it.
YouTube attracts more than 80 million users every month.
Yeah.
So you definitely have to prioritize with where are your clients? Where are they watching video? I mean, YouTube is the new TV station.
But I think Glynis brings up a good point, which is that it has to be a quality starting product, which is what we get with your guest.
Yeah.
I agree that, for example, even with this, we've joked about the webcam that's on right now. We are specifically on earthcam.com because it's going to keep up in real time. It's not going to do a lot of buffering. We switched over a period of years to the most reliable quality video as opposed to who's number one in videos.
Right.
So admittedly, yes, this website is all around the world. I think if you just log on to it and instead of to WSMN, you're going to see a live camera in New York's Times Square. And then you can hunt for WSMN or KABC, Los Angeles, whatever you want. But we went for the quality rather than saying who's got the
quantity.
biggest. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, it can be a
versus
mixture of
quantity.
things. It can be a mixture as well. I mean, if you upload it to YouTube, it's not that you can't upload it to Vimeo to another site as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's all about, and that's where Grapevine Marketing comes in. It's like we work with Matt on how to really get this video into people's eyes and into their inboxes. So using that social media and coming up with a YouTube series, one thing that we work with our clients on is like if you have Tech Talk Tuesday, well, you're committed for the first Tuesday of every month to come up with a Tech Talk Tuesday.
Yeah.
So that means that as your subscribers grow, they're checking in on a Tuesday. Well, if they're there on a Tuesday, you better have
They
a
wanna
new
see
video
something.
uploaded. So that's something you can work with Matt and have Tech Talk Tuesdays. There's 12 Tuesdays in a year. So work with Matt on 12 videos, and that's probably just a day of shooting. And then he edits them all, and then we upload them onto YouTube. We optimize them, and then we just schedule them out so they pop up on that Tuesday and they're ready to go. And then as those subscribers build and as we promote it, we put it in the email newsletter, say, have you seen our Tech Talk Tuesdays? Head on over. So there's really powerful ways. And we work with a client that's on the commercial end of things and then on the residential side, and it's like just by changing those titles on the YouTube and still using some of that content,
That's
Yeah.
true.
it's just repurposing things. So I think a lot of people are just scared of video. They're like, okay, what if things change? But there's so many ways to do voiceovers. I mean, you can hire Matt to do your voiceover. As we've heard, he has an incredible voice.
Listen, I think that you're missing your career here.
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
But I have a question for you, Matt. Part of my photography, I hate to say this over the air, but I'm a political photographer.
Okay.
Okay, so I do work with a lot of the presidential candidates, and
Wow.
only in New Hampshire. It can
Oh, okay.
I'm originally from New Jersey. I would never have been able to do this with my photography,
Okay.
but in New Hampshire, because this is the mega for politics.
Yeah.
And we're working with a bunch of candidates now, and the web designer said, "Can you do video?" I was like,
It's interesting
"No,
you mentioned
I
that.
can't."
Yeah, because I actually just yesterday got out of a meeting with someone running for state representative in Massachusetts, and we're doing a video for him for his campaign. And it's like one of those things. It's a decision making video. It'll really help. And I think if a politician, someone in that kind of a realm, is thinking about video, you want to go with something that's quality, because 10 years down the road, when you're maybe more successful than you are now, people are going to look back and they're going to say, well, what was he doing 10 years ago? So yeah, no, absolutely. That's interesting you do that. We do the same thing.
Well, it's because I'm your package. I mean, a lot of the politicians or the political candidates we are doing are state reps or are the state senators looking for re-election or to be elected. Video is you're attracted to. That's why you should have a good profile picture on all of your social media. But if the video is really compelling, you're attracted. I just saw this great video about the law of attraction on video
yeah.
and how it brings in people.
Yeah. Especially with politics. I mean, you want to get people to know you, in this politics business, it's all very similar in the sense that people need to understand you as a person and relate to you. There's something called the friendship factor in sales or anything like that. So, yeah, it's very important. One thing I do want to mention just about that package is that it's basically I get that price from quantity. So why I say real estate firms, mortgage brokerage is that there's usually a lot of salespeople there. So we book, we go to their location and we book multiple people in a day. So just something to mention. But anyway.
Tim is giving me you must know what this means. Radio voice, Matt Anderson. Thank you so much for. You're missing your career here. But I have a question for you, Matt. I part of my photography. I hate to say this over the air, but I'm a political photographer. Okay. So I do work with a lot of the presidential candidates and.
Wow.
Only in New Hampshire. It can only. I'm originally from New Jersey. I would never have been able to do this with my photography.
Okay. But
in New Hampshire, because this is the mega for politics.
Yeah.
And we're working with a bunch of candidates now. And the web designer said, "Can you do video?" I was like,
"It's interesting you mentioned
I can't."
That. Yeah, because I actually just yesterday got out of a meeting with someone running for state representative in Massachusetts. And we're doing a video for him for his campaign, and it's like one of those things. It's a decision making video. It'll really help. And I think if a politician, someone in that kind of a realm, is thinking about video, you want to go with something that's quality, because 10 years down the road, when you're maybe more successful than you are now, people are going to look back and they're going to say, "Well, what was he doing 10 years ago?" So yeah, no, absolutely. That's interesting. You do that. We do the same thing.
Well, it's because I'm your package. I mean, a lot of the politicians or the political candidates we are doing are state reps or are the state senators looking for re-election or to be elected. Video is you're attracted to. That's why you should have a good profile picture on all of your, social media. But if the video is really compelling, you're attracted. I just saw this great video about the law of attraction on video.
Yeah.
And how it brings in people.
Yeah. Especially with politics. I mean, you want to get people to know you, in this politics business, it's all very similar in the sense that people need to understand you as a person and relate to you. There's something called the friendship factor in sales or anything like that. So, yeah, it's very important. One thing I do want to mention just about that package is that it's basically I get that price from quantity. So why I say real estate firms, mortgage brokerage is that there's usually a lot of salespeople there. So we book, we go to their location and we book multiple people in a day. So just something to mention. But anyway.
Tim is giving me you must know what this means.
Break it up.
The break it up.
Just makes me want to eat a Kit Kat bar every time he does that.
Right.
I know I always mention food on this.
It's time for a break. You are listening to 2 G's in a Pod.
I'm grounding pepper over here. What do you think
I know.
this
What are you
means?
breaking?
I mean, come on.
We didn't want to take a break. But we're going to take a break. We'll be back. This is Glynis, and you are listening to 2 G's in a Pod on WSMN. We'll be right back with Matt Anderson.
Yeah.
Welcome back. This is Glynis, and I am sitting in the pod with Marlena and Matt Anderson from Video Depot, owner of, and we're talking videos. Big business now.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, we were going back to the pricing and everything, and you had mentioned a $195 package.
Yep.
What is there stipulation with that package?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was about to say. Basically, we get that price because we have quantity. So if you work for a real estate firm or for a mortgage brokerage, there's a lot of salespeople there. So we need at least 5 people on for a day when we come to location to, let's say, a real estate firm, so that we can get that price. We're dividing our day rate. I don't want to bore everybody with the complicated details again, but
it's
it is important to
It
know
is important.
that. So, but usually we can make it work if you're somebody who is just interested in it for yourself. Don't hesitate to contact me. I can always work something out. So.
Well, I always say that too with photography. I mean, there's so many people out there that are photographers, professional or otherwise. You have to keep up with the competition, and the best way is giving the best bang for your buck.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to kind of dominate a market, to get out there, is to create your own market. That no
Your
one
niche.
else. Yeah, I mean, no one else offers essentially what we're doing. No one in the New England area has the same business structure we have, which increases efficiency, pricing, creativity. So we use crowdsourcing, essentially, if you know what that is. But no, you're right. I agree.
So I know that a lot of people might be thinking, well, what do I do for video? Like, where do I start? And a lot of people right now, there's always people going back to the table thinking about, is their brand in the right place? Do they like their logo? Do they want to change their messaging? So I think there's two really great places to start, and one of them is to use Google Analytics and really see what your most popular pages are and put video there to see if it increases, like to check out kind of the bounce rate. And how the bounce rate works is, we're tracking to see when people are leaving the page and kind of what their path was to get there, and if they're leaving to go to another page or if they're jumping off, is it an exit rate or a bounce rate? That gets a little complicated.
Yeah,
but believe me.
And what's active and what's the word?
Well,
Organic,
yes. But two things that you really want to
Confusing.
be looking at is like your exit rate and your bounce rate and kind of why people are leaving. So video kind of captures and keeps them there longer. So for an example, your frequently asked question page sometimes can be one of the top pages because people are looking for questions, and Google is identifying that those are questions on the page, and you're providing answers. So that should be a really great page. But sometimes maybe you get your answer within like 3 to 5 seconds. Well, how to keep people there longer? Well, maybe put a sentence and then have them watch the video and then click to read more, and it goes to an internal page. So we're all about creating that path and keeping people on your website as long as possible, because that means it's going to increase your search engine rankings, and it's just a huge return on your investment. So I can't explain, like, video is just so important, but you don't necessarily have to start with a brand, and you can work towards that. You don't need to have the landing. It doesn't need to necessarily start on your homepage. You can start identifying internal pages, and I think that.
And
would
do
be
you
a great way to
do you
start.
work with your clients to identify what is? Well, you probably work with like grapevine marketing and identify what the client's most popular page is.
I would say that, so my kind of value to the business, aside from being the owner of it, is I like to look at the marketing implications of videos. So, I have a large team, about 30 people that are working with me right now. And basically, they're the tools. They're the people that create the media. And when they're doing that, they're all focused on the creative and the artistic value. And what I have to do is say, okay, well, again, what are your goals? And what do we have to do to overcome the challenges that are keeping you from reaching those goals? So, but I would say that with what Marlena said, it's kind of like if you have a popular product in a retail store, right? That's the one you're going to put out near the registers, or in plain sight.
Right.
So in the same way, if you have a popular page and that everyone's going to, that's the place where you want to keep them. So you want to put video on that. So it's not necessarily just the home page. Definitely agree there. Yeah.
Yeah, and video, and it first started with photography. Google now recognizes photography as content. A lot of people don't know that. Photos are content. It doesn't have to have all you have to do is put a caption to your photo. It's recognizing video also because of its popularity now.
Sure.
And it's getting a message out completely differently than in the old days. So it is content on, is that correct?
You are absolutely correct, yeah. So videos, as long as they're properly optimized, so properly promoted and optimized, that's the way to go, because, it's great to create all of this, but you actually have to push it out on the social media. You have to create links, and then they have to be optimized correctly.
So we learned a lot.
We did.
But what we didn't learn is, okay, let's go back to the very beginning, which we should have done in the beginning of the show, but this is a good point. How did you get started in this? Did you go to school for this? How did you're an entrepreneur, obviously, with a 30-plus
Why
people
are you
working.
staying in New Hampshire with this company?
So definitely, number one, we service all of New England and New York State, but I'm based in New Hampshire just because, I don't know, the people around here are very collaborative. Business owners, they're very open to working with you. I mean, like yourself, Marlena. So, I don't know. And not to say that it's not the same way in Massachusetts, but it's just kind of where I'm at, and it's a good place to start. Really good economy here, too. Great for entrepreneurs. My educational background, I have a marketing degree. So, I've been doing this. We opened up last October. I've been in the industry for a little bit over a year. I've worked with freelancers, representing them, and I'm pretty knowledgeable about all of it. So it's just been a big learning experience for me. And again, I have a degree in marketing, so that's kind of why my real value is the marketing implications.
It's not an
He's a
implication.
smart cookie.
Yeah,
Try.
hello. I mean, branding, it's all, this is where businesses get their start.
Yeah.
And when before Marlena came in this morning, you and I were talking about the social media and Facebook and Twitter, and Twitter's using videos. I mean, you get more tweets, it seems, if you have a short
link
little
or
video.
something.
Yeah. So the social medias, the great thing about video is it can be uploaded to YouTube, Vimeo, then it can be linked on your Facebook page. It can be embedded in your website. There's a lot of usage for videos.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to remember is that Google bought YouTube. So that's why when you talk about SEO, YouTube will pop up first because Vimeo is their competition. So yeah, it's, if you're even thinking about, you're not even thinking about video, you're just thinking about optimizing, your website. You want more traffic. Video might be the tool that can get you that SEO because you'll appear higher in the ranks if you're using one of Google's.
I guarantee that you'll increase conversions and absolutely website traffic. If you're as long as you're not just doing the video and letting it sit there. I mean, Matt's going to help you with the tools. He's going to give you people that can help you like Grapevine. And I mean, you should definitely just track it. That's what we do for our clients. There's always a baseline. Like as soon as we start with them, we get everything that we can get from Google Analytics and all of our other softwares. And then we have a benchmark to kind of work from and show them what's working and how can we keep doing it. So if video is working, which I haven't worked with a client that video hasn't worked, then you can keep saying, let's do more video. Let's start moving the video to this page or that page as things change. And you'll see that there's so many success stories in there.
What's the demographics right now for video?
You mean what's the target audience?
The target audience is your basic demographic.
Sure.
The older generation, because I would think that, my generation they're a little skeptical about doing technology like this.
And that's understandable. I pretty much everybody can watch a video, but it depends on where you're going to be distributing it through. You have social media. I would say that's a younger demographic, 40 and below kind of thing. And then you have maybe television, which I don't necessarily always recommend. I think that internet is a lot more effective. You can really more specifically target your demographic. But it's really tough. It depends on the business, depends on what you're selling or trying to say. It varies literally to anything.
I think Matt has to work with like each one of his clients to really identify their goals. Like you mentioned that right earlier on. I've definitely talked to other video production and they're all about being creative and have, helicopter rides. And he's like, no, let's identify your goals and how and I think that's great that he has that marketing background because a video isn't going to do anything just by sitting there.
Exactly. PR and marketing, if you have that background, photography working for you, videography working for you means a lot more. We only have, how many minutes? 2 minutes? 2.5 minutes.
Okay.
Please tell our listening audience how do they get in touch with you, Matt? Because I think after this podcast, you're going to get a lot of phone calls.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. So I have a website. It is, I can say that, right?
Absolutely. You tell us
cool.
everything that you have on there.
Okay. Yeah, so my website is www.newhampshire, govideodepot.com. You can email me at matt@govideodepot.com. Or you can just give me a call. It's on my personal cell, 603-320-9628. I encourage anyone who has any questions just to get in touch with me. It's a non-obligational thing. I'd love to talk to you. So,
And he has a great voice, so why wouldn't
Yeah,
you just
hello.
sit there?
Why wouldn't you want to listen to him?
all right, thank you.
So it's Video Depot.
Yeah,
Go Video Depot.
Go
is what you that's the key.
GOVideodepot.com.
yeah,
That's your website.
correct.
And
Is
if you
there-
Google it, just put New Hampshire, Video Depot.
Yeah.
But Go Video Depot is the keyword.
And you've got examples of some of your videos and
Everything.
what can cool.
Yep.
Cool. So
Absolutely.
video is I think we're
It's
going to
on
talk.
fire.
Yeah, and I think we're going to talk after the show because I have a lot of clients right now who are
Collaboration.
There you go.
big
That's what it's
time
all about.
collaboration. But it's more the political, which
Sure.
is fine.
Yeah, that's great.
This is how we get our messages out.
There we go.
This is how we like the person that we want to vote for.
Yep.
It was a pleasure, absolute pleasure. You've been your guests have been so cool.
Yeah, it was
He is
great
so
being
cool,
here.
yeah.
Yeah,
appreciate
right.
it.
See, and you were like the poor guy. I was like, oh my god. It's not as bad as you think it is, right? Right. Tim and I were like, it's fine. It's just, and look at that. The hour has gone.
There we go. Wow.
Where can they reach you, Marlena?
Well, you can go to www.grapevinemkt.com and we're here to help you with all of your marketing needs. So,
And we can go to Matt at GoVideoDepot, DEPOT.com. And you can see me on SweetShot Photography or 2Gs in a Pod on our blog. You'll be seeing this podcast on the blog. And you'll see the face that we have been behind this radio voice. Matt Anderson, thank you so much for coming on with us. Marlena, another fabulous show.
see you next
Looking
month.
for next month. I hate this. It takes too long to see you again.